Poker is more than just a game of cards. It's a mental duel where skill, nerve, and intuition collide. But every now and then, there comes a hand that goes beyond winning the pot. These hands are not just legendary because of the money involved. They become the moments that define the players, the tournaments, and sometimes the entire history of the game. Picture this. The pressure is mounting, millions are at stake, and one decision could change everything. Today, we're going to dive into 5 poker hands that didn't just shake the room. They sent ripples through the poker world, changing the course of the game forever. Each hand has a story, a drama, a twist that nobody saw coming. Let's go all in and explore the hands that redefined poker history. Hand 1. Chris Moneymaker vs. Sam Farha. The 2003 World Series of Poker. The moment that changed the future of poker forever. Chris Moneymaker, an amateur accountant who won his seat through an online satellite, was now heads up against the seasoned pro, Sam Farha. This was David versus Goliath. The hand? It's iconic. Moneymaker goes all in with nothing but an air ball.
Come on.
Chris is all in.
Chris Moneymaker going all in with nothing.
A stunning play from Moneymaker, who missed his draws, has nothing.
King 7 that missed the flush. Farha, with top pair, hesitates.
You must have missed your flush, huh?
Sam's absolutely right.
Could be the best hand.
And folds.
He is not gonna do it.
It's the kind of bluff that legends are made of. This wasn't just about winning a hand, it was a symbol. When Farha laid down his hand, the poker world opened up for millions of everyday players who realized, if Moneymaker can do it, so can I. This moment wasn't just the underdog winning, it was the dawn of the poker boom. Moneymaker's victory brought online poker into the mainstream, inspiring a whole generation of amateurs to take their shot at the pros. Without this hand, poker might still be seen as an elite game for insiders. But with one bluff, Moneymaker democratized the entire sport. Hand 2. Phil Hellmuth's record-breaking 12th bracelet win. World Series of Poker 2012. Phil Hellmuth, the poker brat. A name known for his explosive outbursts and his unparalleled ability to read his opponents. But in 2012, Hellmuth wasn't just playing for the pot. He was playing for history. With ace-10 offsuit in his hand, Hellmuth faced off against an opponent holding pocket tens. The flop brought disaster, 3 of a kind for his opponent. But Hellmuth was chasing something else, a flush. And when that heart hit the river, completing his flush, Hellmuth won not just the hand, but his 12th WSOP bracelet, setting a record that cemented him as one of poker's all-time greats. This hand represents more than just luck on the river. Hellmuth's ability to stay in the hand, reading his opponent and taking that calculated risk is what separates him from so many other players. His skill lies not just in the cards, but in the psychological warfare he wages at the table. Love him or hate him, you can't deny his genius. In 1997, the poker world witnessed the return of one of its greatest prodigies, Stu Angars. Battling personal demons and years of absence from the game, Angars' presence at the WSOP final table was a story of redemption. His final hand, Ace-4 versus his opponent's Ace-8. The flop came Ace-5-3, giving Angars top pair. His opponent, unaware of the storm brewing, bet with his top pair. Angars raised him all in and he called. The turn and river brought no improvement for either player, and Angars' higher ace took it all. He became a 3-time WSOP main event champion, a feat only achieved by one other player in history. Angars' triumph in this hand was about more than the cards. It was a victory over his personal struggles, a reminder that even when life deals you a bad hand, there's always a way to come back stronger. Angars' genius at reading the game and his unrelenting focus made this win legendary. His story remains one of poker's most captivating tales of brilliance and tragedy. Hand 4. Johnny Chan vs. Eric Seidel. World Series of Poker 1988. Johnny Chan and Eric Seidel are locked in a battle at the World Series of Poker final table. Chan holds Jack-9 of clubs, and the board gives him a straight on the flop. Seidel, holding Queen 7, is about to make a fatal mistake. Unaware of Chan's monster hand, Seidel tries to bluff his way to victory, putting in a big bet after the river. But Chan, ever the predator, has already trapped him. He calmly calls, revealing the straight and securing back-to-back WSOP main event titles. What makes this hand so iconic is Chan's masterful manipulation. He knew he had Seidel in his web, and instead of crushing him early, he let him think he had a chance. This was pure poker brilliance, one of the most famous slow plays in history. Chan's victory became legendary, and this moment was immortalized in the movie Rounders, inspiring future generations of players.
88 World Series, huh? He knows Seidel's gonna bluff at it.
Some of the most exciting moments in poker happen when two of the game's greatest minds go head-to-head. In this hand, Tom Dwan, holding 8-9 of spades, is up against the legendary Phil Ivey, who holds ace-6 of diamonds. The flop comes down 10, queen, king, giving Dwan a double gut-shot straight draw with outs to both a jack or a 9 for a straight. Ivey, sitting with just ace high, wasn't connected to the board, but he wasn't folding to one bet just yet. Dwan, always aggressive, threw out a continuation bet on the flop, trying to build a narrative of strength. Ivey, with all his experience, made the call, aware that Dwan's aggression could easily be a bluff. The turn brought a 3, a complete blank, but Dwan wasn't about to slow down. He fired a second barrel, turning up the pressure on Ivey. Still unconvinced, Ivey called again, knowing that Dwan had the capability to be bluffing in this spot. But when the river came a 6, another card that didn't help Dwan's draw, Dwan went for it. He fired a massive third barrel. With just ace high, Ivey was in a tough spot. After a long deliberation,
wow, wait till you see how long, wait till y'all see what I have that I'm taking this long. I'm not gonna believe this one. No, you don't.
Yeah, I think I do.
he eventually folded, giving Dwan one of the most talked about pots in poker history. This hand is a perfect example of why Tom Dwan is feared at the poker table. The three-barrel bluff was masterfully executed, taking full advantage of Ivey's unwillingness to call with marginal hands. Dwan wasn't just betting his cards, he was betting on his ability to read Ivey's hand and push him off the pot. In high-stakes poker, it's not always about the cards you have, it's about your guts. And Dwan showed nerves of steel in this legendary hand. Hand 6. Doyle Brunson's 10-2 victory. World Series of Poker main event 1976 and 1977. Doyle Brunson, a true titan of poker, made history by winning back-to-back WSOP main events in 1976 and 1977 with the same hand, 10-2 offsuit. The first victory came when Brunson turned 2-pair, beating his opponent's ace high. A year later, Brunson found himself in the same situation, once again holding 10-2. And once again, the hand held up, making him a two-time champion with the same unlikely cards. This hand became so iconic that 10-2 is now known as the Doyle Brunson. It's a reminder that in poker, sometimes it's not about the hand you're dealt, but how you play it. Brunson's back-to-back victories with the same improbable hand are part of poker folklore, symbolizing his unmatched prowess at the table. Hand 7. Antonio Esfandiari's $18 million win. Big One for One Drop 2012. Antonio Esfandiari made poker history when he won the first ever Big One for One Drop tournament in 2012, taking home an astonishing $18 million. The final hand? Esfandiari held 7-5 against Sam Trickett's Queen 6. The board gave Esfandiari 3 of a kind, and with it, the largest prize ever awarded in a poker tournament at the time. It was a victory that solidified his place in poker history. This wasn't just a big win, it was the biggest. Esfandiari's win at the Big One for One Drop tournament remains one of the most iconic moments in poker, not just for the money, but for the prestige that came with it. Esfandiari's calm under pressure and his ability to stay focused through such high stakes are what made him the magician at the table. These These 7 hands didn't just change the outcome of a game, they changed the course of poker history. But what about the hands we haven't seen yet? The next great bluff, the next legendary comeback. Could it be happening right now at some table in the middle of nowhere, waiting to be written into poker lore? The truth is, poker's greatest stories are still unfolding, and the next hand that changes the game forever could be just one deal away. If you enjoyed this deep dive into poker's most unforgettable moments, be sure to hit that like button, subscribe, and turn on notifications so you never miss out on more amazing content. And if you're hungry for more, check out Ace's Full Poker for more in-depth analysis and stories from the world of poker. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you in the next one.